No, I wouldn't do that because then it's crooked over here. It's just at an angle.
There we go.
Turn it back.
No, I got it now.
That's worse.
Look.
That's worse.
No, I'm looking at it right
It's
now.
worse.
It's perfect.
It's worse.
Perfect angle. Okay. I just want you to see it, that I lined that up. Okay? I lined it up.
No, I understand that.
You
But
gotta like
on that camera, it's not lined up now.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. I don't know which
Welcome
one was
to
more
Bricks
important.
and Business. My name is Landon. This is Seth. We wanted excuses to build Lego sets, and Seth bought a bunch of Lego sets, and I said I will edit the podcast.
I did buy these.
You bought a bunch. We are working on the helmets, is what I'm calling it. It's a Captain Rex and Clone Commander Cody. I'm excited to jump into it. We have a lot to talk about. A lot of different things happening this week.
Yes.
Yes. Seth tried to prank me.
Too bad.
Tried to prank me. Prank him, John.
Okay.
I
But
think we might finish this today.
I will say, seems reasonable.
It's so sick. I love this thing.
So I was telling you a story about my phone not turning on, and the AT&T guy was the one that it was working, and
Yeah.
then he touched it,
And then it stopped
and then
working.
it stopped working.
Yeah.
And he followed me back to the office, back to MySpace to see if we could fix it, because he was like, he thought I was gonna blame him for that, and I was like, no, this is a freak thing.
Yeah.
And I have to go to the Apple store on Saturday anyways. I did take my watch to a water park, and it stopped working,
Yeah.
and Apple just sent me a new one.
That
Thank you, customer service.
is Apple. I had some big issue with Apple at one point, and I don't know if they just delayed my shipment or something like that. Some like big return. It might have been when we bought all those iPhones and then we couldn't sell any of them.
Ooh,
I think I sold one.
idea.
That was such a good. On the worst iPhone too. It wasn't even one that was in demand at all.
I mean, it
was like an
worked
S.
for the first watches.
Yeah.
When the first Apple Watches came out, me and Landon lived in Seattle, and somehow figured out that you could buy as many watches as you wanted.
Yeah.
And Seattle is full of wealthy, impatient people.
Yeah.
And so what we did was, I just bought 8 of them, and sold 6 of them
Yeah.
for markup, and me and Laura both got ours for free.
Yeah.
So then I was like, this worked so well. Like, I probably spent $50 in gas, like
Yeah.
driving these watches to people, and a bit of life stress because what if one of these people try to rob me kind of situation.
A little bit.
But other than that, look at you sorting.
The ADHD meds are in full
And
swing.
we tried it again for the next, whatever the next release was, and it flopped.
Yeah.
And so we had to go back into the Apple store and return 8 phones.
I was able to return all of mine via mail, which was good because
Nice.
I probably would have chickened out and not actually returned anything. Because I ordered them all on mail. I think you did a pickup for yours.
I
Maybe
did
that
pick
was
up
it.
so
Yeah.
that I got them the day,
Yeah.
because that was before they had the shipment stuff perfect.
Yeah.
So you might
They were
not
still
get it on
ironing
the
that
day
out,
one.
yeah.
But I sold them all on Craigslist. And I'd make $300 off of one watch.
Yeah.
And it was great. So
That was fantastic. That's what that reminds me of, though. But anyway, yeah, I had this dispute with Apple, and it was like, I don't know. They gave me $300 to their store, basically at the end of it, because I was upset about something, and I ended up buying the Rove Motion slider, like motorized slider that connects to your phone and all this stuff that they just happen to have in their store, which is great because I use that today.
This is
for
like
my
up there,
business.
right?
Yeah, it's like right over there.
but
Where is my?
I think he was worried that I was going to blame him, and I was like, I'm not going to blame him.
Yeah.
So but once she hung up, it turned back on,
Yeah.
and so that was good.
Okay, I did that already. Now we're on this other side. Oh, I opened that bag too early. Damn it.
Whoops. So the other thing I always thought was interesting is there was that lady that bought that guy's place in line for a ridiculous sum of money
Yeah.
because she was going to buy out the store, but she didn't read the fine print that was like you get one per customer. And so she ended up spending like $1,000 to buy this guy's spot, and then the guy went to the back of the line and then still got his phone and some stuff and had some extra money left over.
Yeah.
So it probably was more than $1,000.
Oh yeah.
And the lady got one. And she just blew all that money.
Read the fine print.
I guess sucks to be greedy.
Well, I mean, at a certain point, I do think that was greedy because she was trying to take everybody else's phone who was there, right? Like, that sucks. But I don't necessarily, I think it's okay to arbitrage, to find things that are underpriced and sell them to people who are willing to pay more. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it, like, to screw other people over, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what I did. I mean, I didn't try to screw people over. I just took advantage of the situation. But
which really,
I also knew the rules.
Yeah.
And I hit buy.
Yeah. I remember sitting there, I like maxed out a credit card in order to buy all of these. And I think I sold 2 and it paid for my phone, and that was cool, but I didn't make $5,000 like I thought I was going to.
Well, and also, I think the reality of that whole situation was fully refundable.
Yeah. It's a very safe bet.
Zero risk. I mean, besides I got robbed. I mean, I actually didn't think about that back then. But yeah, so I thought I was about to get a new phone today for a little bit.
Yeah. So a couple things happened this last week. One, I signed a new client, which is great.
Yes.
Basically, I was offered a graphic design job and flipped that into a retainer, a contract retainer position.
Yes.
So they just pay me every month. Less than what they would pay me as an employee, especially when it came to the employment taxes, which is what I've been pitching to everybody this whole time.
Freedom.
But I get my freedom back. And she even said, and you get to maintain your freedom. It's like one of the reasons when we were discussing going back and forth. Like, she understood. There's a new director, and they just needed a designer, and I just happened to be there shooting. It was like a $70 San Angelo Museum of Fine Arts.
Fine Arts Museum, yes.
Yes, I abbreviate everything.
They just don't know. The one person that's
the
not
one
watching.
person not in San Angelo who watches this in 20 years doesn't know. They might not even, Sanford might even be around by then. So they got a new director. They needed a graphic designer. I was taking a photo of a painting, and I was like charging them $70 for that because I was like, it's going to take me 2 hours. I don't want to. I'm showing up and literally taking. They only wanted one photo.
A photo. I'm taking a photo.
And I get it. It's a piece of art from 1792. The lighting has to be right. You have to get a dead-on shot. I used my 85 millimeter lens, so it was like no distortion, blah, blah, blah. And I did some focus stacking. I just tried to make sure it was like the sharpest picture possible. And it was good. And I took a couple extras, but I was like...
Web design, JavaScript, C++. That's what it sounded like to me. Just so you know. Continue, please.
Anyway, so I was doing that for that job, and the director walked up, and we were talking about the piece, and I was mentioned that she asked if I did graphic design, and I said, yeah, I have a degree in graphic design. And so we just got to talking afterwards, and I pitched her on basically a $70 job, just potentially 1,000x or 100x. It's over 100x.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah, I'm doing the math. I'm just adding 2 zeros. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So that was good.
That little joke that I just made about all your terminology that you just used, I'm interested to see if Opus pulls that and could tell it knows that it was a joke.
I don't know if Opus will. I know if we used these scripts, then they would, because they do a lot of webinars. So they've built in that kind of language, like a lot of these terms. And I think they do, like, when people add terms to a library and do corrections, that they include that overall in the software. Which these are great. It just doesn't work well for multicam podcasts
Yet.
Okay, first step, and I can't find this stupid. After I did all of this,
that's what you get.
One piece.
That's what you did.
No, it's not. So
no, I dropped.
So last week that happened, which was great. I just had a client. So I do work for Western Audio Works, and I do video content for them and deal with their social media, and I also like reply to stuff. They just texted me this morning and said, somebody put in a request for them to inquire about them doing an event in Midland because they saw a social media post.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
sick. I'm starting to pay for myself.
Yeah.
Which is great. There's no better validation for a business owner than, oh, the thing we paid you to do is working.
And not based off of some metric that you
Yes,
did.
based on actual money that's going to go in their pocket. Even if it didn't book, the fact that they got an inquiry,
Yeah.
I think, is even
Yeah.
at that level. Am I doing? I think I might be doing. No, it's a Craig. I'm so lost right now. Did I drop these?
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
What is the piece you're looking for so I can
It's a 2x6 clap piece, and I see this. This is a 2 by
It would have been
8.
hilarious if you just grabbed it, but here, that's what's
Right. I have an angle piece. I have a bunch of 2x4 flat pieces. I have a 2x3. There's another 2x8. Then we all sit next to each other, so it's defeated. Chat. I mean, shoot.
Be sure about that? Be sure that's what you need, buddy?
What is that? 2x6 flat white piece.
Who's the
You choose. So either it's missing, or I can't really move forward. Otherwise, this is the exhilarating part of the podcast where Landon loses his outplaying, and we have to sit here and look.
That's what you get for putting all these white pieces together. You segregated asshole.
Get great. I don't know. It's on me. I'll find it. I'm tempted just to slack. I do this temporarily and see if I can make it work down with her. We put in. You were flipping boxes of every.
Yeah, it's probably definitely my fault. Is it in your
Oh,
box?
what the?
Did you already do that part?
I already did that part.
Oh, cannot find peace.
All right, so
So
new thing
go to the
do
next page.
is have a bookmark. So
I did.
That's what he did.
I use this.
There you go. I did not. I'm not that smart. I'm like
So,
squeaking by here.
okay. What were we talking about?
That's a fair. We were talking about clients who actually get what they pay for and not just on bullshit metrics.
Yes. And
That's super
sometimes metrics are helpful.
important. Oh, they're always helpful. I mean, not all. They're very helpful.
One time I ran the numbers because I finally got all the things where it was possible.
Yeah.
And basically I ran the numbers, and basically every day that I posted a social media post for Jason at PV Deli, he made an extra $100. Like,
There you
it
go.
was easy. And
Have access to that, all of that data. 100%.
it's an extra $100. That's not a huge deal, but
But it's okay.
When
what
you
if
think
we
it-
post 3 times that day?
yeah. And when you think, and I should probably go back and run the numbers now that we've been doing it a lot more, but like it was like extra $100 every day. There's what 25 open days, so that's $2,500. So that was more than he was paying me,
But that was like you could.
and that
tell
was just from social media. That was it, and so.
not all the other things he has you doing too.
And so it was like social media was paying for me on top of every other thing. So that was always cool.
I feel like this is like Perry the Cloud of this colors. I never watched.
Yeah, that is funny.
It's infernal, but definitely is.
Something that I made my students do this week. I said, we were talking about compensation next week. Like that's the concept. That's the topic.
Yeah, ready?
And I said, so you're gonna do something that's going to be very uncomfortable. And they're like, uh-oh.
Great. What?
And I said, okay, I never. So you're going to find 5 people, and you are going to ask them how much money they made. And they're like, excuse up. And I said, I know, it is uncomfortable. However, time to grow up. You're not uncomfortable. So I said, find 5 people. And I said, you could try it out on one of your professors, because if you think about it, that's public information.
Yeah. It's
Like
not
you can go look it up if you want. So just asking and having a professor say it out loud is what you need to do. You can't go look this up.
Yeah.
You have to get them to say it out loud.
keep telling the story while I know Brett does.
And
He's gonna steal one from another kid.
oh my gosh.
We're on mute.
Which one is it this time?
It's just a regular 2x4 brick, and I know it's gonna be.
Here's the
covered-
white ones right here.
It's gonna get covered up. So like,
Is it white?
huh?
Is it white?
No, it's green. It's that green one. Oh, sweet. I'm just gonna find another.
Sneaky, sneaky. Are you sure you're on the right?
Yes. Tell your story.
I was like, okay, everybody is going to find out what people make. And one of my students looks at me and goes, what do you make? And I was like, good move. Good move, my friend. And so I don't know the answer to that question.
You don't know the answer to how much you make?
I know what my taxes say I make. I know what I tell credit card companies that I make. And I know that my income is very different than a salaried employee's income because I have the benefit of write-offs. And so I sounded like I was stalling, but really I was just pulling up like my software that tracks all that stuff. And so I pulled it up and I put it in the last 365 days and I said, tell me what I made in the last 365 days. So Seth Life, in the last 365 days, in credit card processing fees, or in credit card processed items, I have made $101,000 of income.
That's
Gross.
specifically doing web design and services for business.
Yeah. And then I clicked
That's
over
your
to
main
San
product
Angelo.
is web,
Then I clicked over to San Angelo Studios. Yeah. Clicked over to San Angelo Studios. And it said $99,000. And I was like, shit.
Which was surprise.
Yeah, because I work way harder on Seth Life than San Angelo Studios.
Which tells you what?
That I just need to open another co-working space.
I know a guy who's willing to help out with that.
But we'll get there. But so then I was like, and then there's this other income here and this other income here. And then I said, but that's what I made. Now, minus all of the expenses and everything, my IRS form says $55,000. I tell credit card companies $72,000.
Eating.
And my taxable income last year was $16,800. So
That's called.
no, there's no fraud here.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's called like
smart business ownership.
playing the game,
Yeah,
but not to the detriment of the entire nation. I feel like Amazon doing that is a little bit different than the small.
and they
business
do
owners.
it.
Oh, they get paid. They get tax refunds at the end of the year. That's how I'm saying that is.
What is most interesting about that deal that I realized a few days before I even was talking about this is so every year business slows. Every national election, business slows down.
So weird.
And it's uncertainty. And what it is it's uncertainty. And it's not who wins that matters. It's what will be the rules next year.
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't matter. We will just, business owners, people, citizens, whoever, will
Life
just
will go on.
adjust. And this is a new piece that I've never seen.
Yeah, it's like a reverse piece that he like has a whole. That's kind of cool. Every now and then they like make
Something new.
they pull out something crazy.
So it's like this uncertainty thing. And so I'm telling them, like, the deal is play by the rules. If you play by the rules, even if they audit me, yeah, I followed the rules. I didn't pay for I think the thing that people get caught doing the most is like they'll pay to have their grass mowed or their nanny service or their babysitters from their business.
Yeah.
So now for when I have a babysitter here for members of the Whiskey Collective, that's an expense of the Whiskey Collective.
This piece is wrong here.
What are you doing wrong?
I don't.
Did
This is
you
why
not-
I have to sit down and finish a set in one sitting.
Where is that other
It's
bag
backwards.
that you had?
I dumped it out.
Like here?
These are all the pieces for the rest of this kit. I feel like maybe on this side I used the wrong.
Maybe is the wrong piece over here. Oh no.
Because there's a bunch of things like blue.
Oh yeah, you might have flipped that one around. I don't know. I can't look.
Because it's opposite.
Yeah.
So like my guess is
maybe did something. But that's how people get in trouble, is they spend money on personal shit. I'm like, yeah, I don't do that. So it's that's why that piece isn't there.
I bet that's why that green piece is there. Oh my god.
Hey, let me just show you something that librarians hate. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
See this right here?
Do a corner.
This is it. This is all I gotta do. Next time.
Was the other side done though? That's what I don't know.
Man. Oh, you just skipped
No,
it in the
wasn't.
first place?
No, I just started rebuilding the same thing. So like I flipped this on the other side in a minute, but I'm not. No, I did. I did not do this part. Let me see where it is. I'm sorry.
I'm very excited
all over the place.
because I might be finished faster than you.
You might be. Okay, I did not do that part. All right, gotta pick it up.
So my students have to go and ask people about their salary. I'm pretty excited to hear about that.
All
stuff.
the answers that they get.
Yeah, and I mean,
Just how-
part of it. So the biggest reason that I do anything in my class is for them to learn something, learn a lesson.
What in it?
In this case, the lesson that I want them to learn is you are not going to make what you think you need to make, and you're going to look at people and they're going to say, "Yeah, I make $60,000 a year," and they're going to go, well, "You do what? You what?"
Yeah.
And they think somebody makes 150. Like they're going to be like, "How?" And part of it is that college lifestyle is very different.
Yeah.
All of
Well,
your
those expectations
all of your
are out of
needs
whack.
are handled. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of your needs are handled.
Yeah.
So you're not having to do a bunch of other stuff.
They even have their food pantries.
Yeah.
That's great. I never had the guts.
You
to do this.
suddenly
I should have.
you suddenly have all these extra expenses when you're done. But I think it will just be eye-opening to them to see, oh, people make more money. And then I think it will also be eye-opening to me to hear who makes what, because maybe I need to adjust what job I do.
Like,
Or who I'm going after
need to pivot.
for clientele. Oh, really?
Really, you're just trying to source new clients.
Everything. That's my entire deal. I mean, I made them all leave good reviews for San Angelo Studios.
I just had the fear that
You didn't hit record.
why is
I asked you if this was working.
it was working, but both of ours are coming through one mic for some reason. Is it? But I did something to my mic.
Yeah.
Hello?
That was my mic. So that's gonna be fun. I'll have to fix that. Something
You're gonna be
always goes
really
wrong.
quiet the whole time.
Anytime
The first
I'm
half.
on camera, something goes wrong.
Something goes wrong.
Because I'm not behind the camera making
Yeah.
sure it goes right. Lesson learned: if you're gonna do a podcast, get help.
Hire a person. Hire Landon.
Hire me. Do it in here.
The other lesson, the other thing that I gave them recently that I've been trying to figure out how to get this across to them since I started. Oh, and also I heard that there's some people that are actually actively trying to give adjuncts a raise, and not like, okay, go from what I'm making now to twice as much as I make now.
Oh wow.
Not like a small,
Like a big
here's,
jump.
here's $200 extra. No, they haven't changed it in 20 years.
Oh,
it
man.
needs to. But I heard
I mean, just
that
adjusting
might
for
be an
inflation, it like
option.
doubles.
But the other thing that I finally figured out, and it's very much working this year, is if you do not understand my instructions, do what you think is best, and be able to defend it.
And then
That's it.
they don't get doxxed for it.
They don't. If
As long as there's logic behind
if
it.
there's logic behind it and a reasonable reason that they did it this way, and my thought process is, you send me something, I think it's stupid, I give you a 0, and then you come back and go, this is what I thought. And they point back at my instructions and say, you said this and I did this. And that's
Yeah.
why. I will reevaluate their project. It's no guarantee that that means they're right, but
Give them a fighting chance.
I will give them the chance, and that's what I do with people that work for me. I tell them, do the thing. Get it done. If it's wrong, I'll tell you, and never do that again. That's it. And so what's been good about this is I haven't got a lot of emails.
Really?
Not about how do I do a homework. I get emails that say I'm sick.
Yeah.
Someone told me that they were throwing up, and I was like, you can just say I'm sick. I'm not.
What is happening?
I
I
don't
missed
care.
something.
You're on the wrong page.
I'm not. Shut up.
I'm just going to guess. But, so I'm...
You look, based on my track record today,
Yeah.
you're probably right.
Reasonable. So I think I'm excited to use that moving forward. Something else that I
I drop pieces all the time.
I had a good conversation with somebody yesterday, and we're just exploring this option. So this is a very rudimentary version of whatever it's going to be, but it's an entrepreneurship wing at Angelo State University. Mm-hmm. So it would be students that come in to Angelo State University and want to be entrepreneurs. So they'd be put in a cohort their freshman year.
Yeah.
They walk through their whole 4 years. Their first year, they're intern level. The second year, they're planning their business. The third year, they launch their business. And the fourth year, they're overseeing their business using the freshmen from that year.
Interesting.
Okay? And
you're creating a assembly line there.
Yeah. And so...
which is what schools want to do.
Yeah.
They want assembly line work.
But with this, we get them into... this is how a business works, and this is how you start a business. And what we want is... I think our relationship is great, like me and you, because we've been doing stuff together for a long time.
Yes.
Right? So, like, we get each other, even, like, when there's hard things or weird things, like, we just know that we just have to talk about it, deal with it, move on.
Right.
And so a semester isn't long enough for that to happen.
Correct.
And so with these students, we put them in a cohort of like 10 their freshman year. And then it basically whittles down to 5 by their senior year. Like, we anticipate that group gets smaller because people graduate early or quit or whatever. But what will happen is their sophomore year, they're doing all this planning, and then their junior or senior year, like, depending on how it all works out, basically it would be another way to do the business plan competition. So you did the business plan competition.
Biz pitch,
right?
Yes.
And so there's that,
which is great.
And students have access to that. But what happens with that is there's only so much coaching that they do. There's only so much. It's great. You have a great business idea. Here's some money. Congratulations, you won a competition. But what we want to do is create a funnel that at the end of this, they get this. Every student that gets to their second internal temp high.
For which one? For that one.
That one.
God damn it.
I guess
Fans.
we have to turn on the fans again. Fun. But what's cool about it is it gives you this process that if you do these classes and these things and check these boxes, it's not at the end where where we're like, you might get money. It's if you check all the boxes on the way, the second semester of your junior year, when you're ready to launch your business, you get a cash infusion to do it.
Interesting.
And that cash infusion comes from an account that we have. And your business, we own part of that business. The university or the foundation or somebody owns this part of the business. And some of that money goes back into the pot as a repayment of that. And if your business fails, your business fails. We understand that. It's not a loan. It's a
grant.
It's a grant with ownership. And you would do is your team, say you have 5 students. Every student has access to $5,000. So that's $25,000 to start a business. And then what we would do is, it's almost like we guarantee that. And then what we would do is then take those and put them in a biz pitch style thing. But more, so the Capital Factory in Austin, what they do is quarterly they get together and they do pitches. But they have executives from Dell and Microsoft and WP Engine and all these big names. They'll sit in this room and hear all these pitches, and at the end they can inject more money into it if they want. So it's not like a guaranteed you win this, it's here's some exposure for these students. And so what we would do is get that exposure. And if something is a good enough idea, then you might have somebody that wants to invest in X, Y, and Z. So I think with...
That's just giving them like a big leg up
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. Hey, you're going to get actual experience by the end of this. You're going to be... And you might even get money to make something that makes money and leave class with like a functioning business.
And other things that we're going to do is like we're going to make it really, really like practical hands-on training stuff. So we're going to do Maymesters, which are the shorter semesters. And our initial thought process is, so we do Bastrop, Texas, Waco, Texas, and Austin, Texas. Okay? So this is the Maymester thing. Bastrop, Texas is a city that's booming. Waco's a city that boomed. And Austin's a city that's stable. What you do is, for a week, you're in... I mean, it's 4 weeks, but it's really 3 weeks because there's lots of moving parts. You do 3 weeks, and you do a week in Bastrop, or it might be the other way around. A week in Austin, a week in Waco, a week in Bastrop. And you work it out with a local hotel to put these students up instead of a university. So you put them in a real business setting. You put them in co-working spaces in those cities. And then you just go experience what all these businesses are. And then what it does for our local economy is it goes and we go find unique businesses in those places and steal their ideas. I mean, like, really, nobody wants to come and do a business like that in San Angelo if they have a successful one in Bastrop, Waco, or Austin. And if you're able to partner with one of them, that'd be cool. Or just glean information, because that's what...
Or figure out, oh, that's a franchise.
My friend Thomas...
I could buy into the franchise.
And my friend Thomas, he runs the workspace in Austin, in Dripping Springs. We actually partner with them. Technically, there's a loose partnership with the workplace in Austin. If you are a member of the workplace and you're in San Angelo for some reason, free access here.
Oh, nice.
If you're in Dripping Springs and you're a member here, free access. All you have to do is tell me or tell Thomas. We text each other and say, hey, one of our members is coming. Done. And
I'll have to remember that.
it's super loose. There's no signed anything. We just worked it out. But when I started, Thomas, I was like, man, you're doing such a good job, and this is the style in which I want to go for. I don't want too big, too small, whatever. And he was like, cool, let me know anything you want. And I was like, can I have your contract? That's the first thing. He goes, yep, done. Send it to me.
Wow.
No question, and that's what I do. If somebody asks me for help with co-working, like, I'm all in to help them. So I think there's probably some business owners like that. But you put these students in those positions where they're like getting to experience and see how businesses work somewhere else before they start their business. And then we also are going to do some excursions. So it'll be like kind of board retreat style events. So you and your company, you're gonna get in-state Maymester, you're gonna get an out-of-state trip, and you're gonna get an international trip. But with your cohort, like everything is team building around that. So you're gonna get to see how businesses work in other places too. And I just think it's like having those kinds of opportunities as a student, and like if we can get this thing well funded to do that stuff, then you're just
going to create a factory of business owners.
Yeah,
at a certain point.
Like, and so we create an entrepreneurship department at Angelo State, and we have management marketing, which it falls under right now, or technically falls under. It's not active, so I don't know how you say that, but the
stickers.
You get that all set up, and you're just going to have all these students that want to build businesses. And then every business that's built out of this program is owned partially by that department or foundation or however that works legally. And we'll get kickback from that business in perpetuity or for 5 years or for 10 years or something, if it works, and it doesn't have to. Mm-hmm. Like that's one of the things is like you have to avoid the idea that this has to work for it to continue. So I think it's pretty cool.
Because it's going to get funding either way. But if you're setting these students up to be able to make successful businesses, mm-hmm. and the department or the whatever is benefiting from the profit from these businesses, that's like double, triple motivation. Because one, mm-hmm. you're just trying to help kids figure this out who are interested. Mm-hmm. You're also breaking the mold for what entrepreneurship like within the academic setting is, mm-hmm. which is really important. I honestly think there's a real chance you could get somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk who like says specifically, if you want to be an entrepreneur, why the hell are you in school? Mm-hmm. Get their opinion because like they have the experience and the reach, and like they've talked to a bunch of kids who
I think
been on both sides.
A lot of that, why are you in school? Why are you in school? If you want to start a business,
you should go get experience in a business.
It's a really good question, but if you flip that and say, my school's all paid for because I'm in this program, and I'm getting 4 years of practical training to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, if you get the scholarship,
and I have the access to starting my own business right now within this sphere of comfort, like, mm-hmm. I think it's like the general consensus from like people that would like Gary Vee would be like, don't go to college. If you really have a good idea and you know that's what you want to do, go for it. But that's not most people. That's very little amount of people. I think the majority of people that we're looking at are people that are like, I don't know what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And this would be a really good way to guide them.
And I'm interested in exploring this. I think you definitely operate out of like the assumption that nobody's taking out loans for their schools, though.
I do, and that's part of
most people
program.
have to take some kind of loan in order to attend at the price it is now. Because even when you went, it was way cheaper.
Yeah.
When I went back to ASU, like, and ASU is a pretty cheap school, mm-hmm. it was still like, it was like $300-400 per credit hour, which is not cheap at all. Yeah. I had to take out loans, which, thanks Biden, got forgiven.
Right.
But if they hadn't, I'd have to figure out how to pay for that.
But I know that, and that's why a big portion of this is, if you come into this program, we partner with Car Scholarship and this program to pay for your school. Mm. And you follow through the program, and you remember that, I don't know if you didn't qualify for it. It's the Finish on Time loan.
I did not.
So
I took a 10-year break.
There was exactly. There was a thing that if you finish school on time, a portion of your school was taken care of. Mm. It was just like, we want students to finish on time, actually finish, all this stuff. My concept for my kids is going to be, you take out student loans, you figure out how to pay for the school you want, you do it. When you graduate, I will assume those loans, and I will pay for them. Mm. That's it. You have to finish. If you don't finish, you got to pay for them. And that's a lot, but finish. Like it's 4 years. Could be done in 3.5 years. My brother's doing that. Could be done way faster than that if you want it. But if one of my kids decides, I'm going to go to Angelo State, I'm going to take out student loans, I'm going to do this, awesome.
Just the way this all fits together is so sick.
If they want to go to Rice and spend a ton of money, they better want to finish. Because it's going to suck if they don't. And so, yes, I do. But my hope with this program is that it's you do this thing, and then your second year, your grades are high and you're good and you continue to do well and you keep that scholarship. And then your third year, your business starts to go and you're actually making money. And your fourth year, you actually, it's NIL, right? It's pay students to do the thing. Mm-hmm. And I think with the idea with taking the senior classes businesses and have the freshmen working in them. There's income
As like
for those
interns.
students.
Yeah.
So like it's okay. Here's how we do this. We don't give you a full-time job, but we give you this job. We give you a car scholarship. We give you this entrepreneurship scholarship. And as long as you check all these boxes, you're gonna walk away with no money owed. Like, but you got to check the boxes. You got to work hard.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy, but
if you can put in the work.
if you can put in the work and stick with it, you're going to walk away with no debt. Like, how do we make that happen?
Yeah.
In that situation. And so
I almost feel like at a certain point, what you're doing is because student athletes have great opportunity to get their school funded.
Yeah.
Because of their hard work with being an athlete.
Yeah.
It's like they found their natural talent, what they love to do, and so they were able to leverage that. I almost feel like this is that, but for potential business owners.
Yeah.
Being able to say, hey, I have this thing I want to do. I want to be able to make money, and so this program helps me do that. I think that's cool.
It all started with, we found out that you can't start a business in the dorms. It's against the terms of service of living on campus at Angelo State University. You can't start a business. I was like,
That's going to just
bet.
drive so many people away.
We are going to create this. That's the idea, is we create this entrepreneurship wing and say, if you want to start a business, this is how you work on that. You be a part of this. And early thoughts on it is we get a wing of a dorm. We convert the lobby of that to a co-working space. Okay, still a lobby, still can have fun, but it's a co-working space.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily go to this class to do all these things. Like, there's
God!
like spaces.
My autism. The only time I ever feel autistic is like fucking here. Look at how that fucking... like the most satisfying...
I was talking with the guy that cut my hair, and we were talking about Elon Musk, and I was like, the things that we're scared of, right, is that Elon is going to be like a supervillain, okay? Because he acts like it. Dark MAGA, right? Like, he acts like a supervillain.
Yeah.
He's just an autistic kid that just tells us his feelings. Like, I don't think he could get away with something evil and secret. I think he would just be so excited to tell everyone about the evil that he would do it. Now, maybe it's little things that he might be doing that are like, that's freaking obnoxious, or that's not good for us. But I don't think he's going to
The evil plan would be announced. It would be monologued well ahead of time.
He's going to stand up and be like, so I'm doing all this stuff. And also, the tech's not there yet, but we'll be there in 15 years. And then I'll have a super destroyer ocean liner that protects me, automated. Like,
I mean, I do think Elon has a certain level of intelligence, and I definitely, obviously, autism is part of that. So have you seen him do his jump thing lately? Oh my God.
The superpower of being able to pay attention. And learn things like to such an extent that you can lead a team and hire the right people and talk to them.
I also think a lot of that, he does, like, he came from money. He didn't like start Tesla. He didn't start any of these things. He just bought into them.
Yeah.
And like, I do think he has obviously a lot of like operational prowess. He has a lot of intelligence there. But I do think there's a certain level, if he's just had so much privilege through his entire life, it's been, like, not that it's been easy, but on top of that, he's just autistic and doesn't know how to communicate to people, so he goes into X, or Twitter, and just says, all right, unless you're hardcore, you're not sticking around. And it just happens to work.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it just, he keeps figuring it out, and people are giving him all this praise for, like, the most recent rocket, like, landing back onto its stilts, right? Great feat. Elon's engineers did that.
Yeah.
Elon Musk did not do that.
But
he enabled them and gave them the directive and forced them and threatened them, sure. But he didn't do it.
That's the middle ground, I think, because a lot of people go, he didn't do shit. He put all those people together. Like, those people would not have been together if it weren't for the circumstances of him having money, him doing these things, him buying this company, and him directing to say, we need a team that does this.
And him just having just enough weirdness and charisma that he can create this allure around him that the nerds want to be a part of. The nerds want the self-driving stuff. This is the stuff they've been dreaming of. I think he's just a big sci-fi nerd with autism. That's just Elon Musk. Just an autistic sci-fi nerd.
So there was an early time in Tesla where a friend of mine was an assistant with him. And I don't know if she was directly like working for him, but she made an announcement at some point that she was leaving, and that if anybody was interested that she knew that was interested in taking on her role as an assistant at Tesla, to let her know. And I was moments away
You're
from
very
like,
intrigued.
I was like, I want to do that, and I didn't. And I'm a small business owner now, but I was super interested, and it would have been very high stress.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I think that's why she stopped.
Like,
but-
at a certain point, it's just, unless you have nothing else going on, it really just isn't worth it at a certain point, in my opinion.
So, but I also am not too concerned about the AI end of the world thing, at least not for my lifetime. Maybe my kids have to deal with that. But I'm kind of like, just can I have one of those sweet robots? Like, I just want that. That'd be cool. Optimus.
I would, as long as it's proven that they can't really harm people, right? Do all the tests, do all the roadblocks, like not software roadblocks, like physical roadblocks.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, it can't move fast, right? So you can walk away from it if it's trying to strangle you. Like, that's the thing, right?
I mean, what did they say? Like, recently I saw something about the what was it? It was like, it's only 150 pounds and it's only 5'7" or something. It's only, you can push it over kind of situation.
Like, if that's the case, cool. I will happily take out the equivalent of a car loan in order to have that just take care of the house and do projects and fix things. Cool. I'm down with that. But if there's a chance that it can harm my family, then I'm like, I'm good. Like, I don't want to risk that.
I watched Bicentennial Man. I'm pretty good. I'm down.
Bicentennial Man?
Yeah.
You also
what it did.
watched
I mean,
Terminator. You've also watched all kinds of stuff. It's like,
let me correct you. I may have watched snippets of Terminator,
oh my god, it's such a classic.
but I don't know if I've ever actually watched the whole thing.
Okay, so next week we're gonna sit here and watch Terminator, and not build Lego.
Where am I? I'm missing something here.
Apparently, there is the original Lego Masters was an Australian Lego Masters.
That seems reasonable. You know, I've been watching Taskmaster New Zealand. It's great.
Lauren just couldn't stop trying to do the accents the entire time, and I was like, "Dude, we got to figure something out." It's hitting the stems. I don't know what to do. I just keep doing this. Oh my god, good lord. But yeah, we love Lego Masters, and we watch it like every week. Now we're not going to be able to because we got rid of Hulu. But when we can watch it, the Australian version on Tubi for free. You just have to deal with the ads. I'm pretty stoked on that. We're back to Lego Masters. Which, it's fun to see it because it's a little jank compared to the American fleshed out, like fully produced version. This one's okay, guys. Seth lost a piece.
I didn't lose a piece. It's just not going together right. I'm trying to figure out where
Where does it go?
It goes right there. But it has this side. But it's like this little piece is like in the way.
It's right there.
Yeah, but you see how that should be straight, and then this should just push in. But it's like that.
Does it go up higher? Like go up a stud?
Maybe it does. Maybe you do have to tilt it. Oh, look, you do have to tilt it before you push it in. Okay,
There you go.
that was it. That seems like an illegal build.
It's from Lego, so there's an account that has like illegal Lego builds, and it's pretty fascinating. Like he'll make spherical structures out of like flat pieces and like crazy stuff.
Nice.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see how that entrepreneurship.
Do we talk
class
about
thing
the
works.
Chick-fil-A thing out loud? Yeah.
I mean, they came to you for a quote for content,
Yeah.
and you quoted them,
I quoted them.
and then we had a meeting with them, and they went with us because we were cheaper. Like,
Yeah.
that's the story.
That's the story.
What else is there to it?
I think we knew some inside information to make sure I didn't get that job.
Which you would have been happy to get the job.
I would have been happy to get the job and outsourced it to you.
Cool.
And you would have still made the same amount of money.
And yeah, and you would have made money too. They just decided not to do that. I say
Damn
that's
it!
wrong.
I guess I was wrong. I guess I am disappointed now.
I know, you could have made money.
As you pointed this out. No,
The same results, just under a different name.
okay. I wanted to tell you this story because I don't want it to sound like I'm whiny, and I don't want it to sound like I think people aren't good in this fashion. Okay, total depravity. Cheers, Calvinism. Okay, we don't have to do that. But what I'm saying is, this looks so much nicer without the tangles. ADHD. That was mine.
Oh, up there at the top.
Just all of it.
Yeah.
Like just all perfect.
I also was trying to offset to
Before?
where the pics, it was like halfway up,
Uh-huh.
and so it wasn't so grid.
Yeah.
And I think that looked better, but I don't think at the expense of
I like this better.
like the
But-
straight lines.
Yes.
So people suck.
People suck. But people. Okay, there are people that do things with intention, and there are people that do things on accident because they don't think about it. Yeah.
Willful ignorance and ignorance.
You tell me at the end of this story where people stand.
This is we can judge all of humanity based on this story.
Yes.
Cool.
So, I had scheduled. I'm the chairman of the Contra Cadre. I go to a lot of ribbon cuttings. Yesterday, I had 2 scheduled. 1. And I don't schedule them. Asher does this. I'm supposed to go. 2 ribbon cuttings. 1, Skyline Aviation started they're an FBO, which is, I don't know.
Fucking bitch over.
Yeah, no. It's a flight.
What's an FBO? Fixed based operator.
Yeah, fixed base operator. So what it is they're like a garage for planes. Okay, and they do a lot of other stuff. They do training, and they'll store your plane for you. They'll gas it up for you if you stop
bit of
into San
maintenance.
Angelo. So if you're not an airline, you have to have somebody to clean your plane, somebody to gas it up, somebody to store it, somebody to get it ready when you want to go on a flight.
Legally, you need a third party to do that, or
Unsure.
unsure. Cool.
But you have to buy your gas from somebody. You got to store your plane
And
somewhere.
it's probably not just at the pump gas. I imagine it's a little special.
And so you'll even be able to buy gas from an FBO, even if you're not a member of the FBO. So it's really just you look at airport and you're like, okay, I'm a private plane owner, operator, whatever. I need to land and I need my people to have a place to go when they land, et cetera, et cetera. So they have this huge hangar, beautiful.
At the airport?
At the airport. I don't know if it's a new building or a repurposed building, but it's beautiful. So you walk in, it's pretty average entry, but then you walk past the entry and you walk into this massive hangar that beautiful ceilings, huge fans, that's where the planes come and sit, right? Then you walk past that into a lobby, and the lobby is like a airport lounge. You've got chairs, and they've got snacks, and they've got bathrooms and conference rooms and different things that somebody that just landed in San Angelo might need.
Airporty stuff.
Yeah. And I go to this. It's beautiful. wonderful. It's going to serve the people that need it well.
Mm-hmm.
However, there were lots of people there so our Concho cadre, we show up to these things. And then also people from around town show up for these things.
Mm.
There was great attendance at this event.
A lot of interest in this specific opening because of what it is.
Because of what it is and who it will serve. And that's great. And I had a really great time. I left, said goodbye, had a good time. I'm very interested in helping them improve their online presence.
It's 11.
Okay.
You
Then
have
I
a
have to
lunch.
go at noon.
Cool.
I would very much like to help them with their online presence because it just doesn't scream
Luxury.
what they're saying.
Yeah.
But this is nothing against what Skyline Aviation is doing. Nothing against any of that.
Right.
Okay. Then the second ribbon cutting that afternoon is at the Boys and Girls Club of San Angelo of the Concho Valley, because they're part Merton now too. And
Nice.
Tiffany Parker, she's one of our board members for the chamber. I'm on the chamber board too. And
If there's a board, you're on it.
no, there's lots of them, and I am not on hardly any of them. And I just quit one. But she's on the board, and she has this ribbon cutting, and the ribbon cutting is really amazing. A lady from Optimum had come in. Optimum is what Suddenlink became.
They rebranded because it's so awful.
Yeah,
They had to like completely overhaul it.
This also isn't going to be a shit on Optimum conversation because they did really good this time.
No.
But Tiffany was like showing this lady around, and she said, "We'd really love to help." And Tiffany said, "How?" And she said, I don't know. What do you think?" And she said, "First of all, you could up my internet speed and you could pay for it." She says, "Okay." And she goes, "And since we'll have this really great internet, it'd be really awesome if the kids had a really awesome computer lab." And so Optimum paid for 3 computer labs, free internet for Boys and Girls Club from here on out. Like they really stepped up. And then on top of that,
And props to Tiffany for going in for the
saying that.
ask. And
Yeah. And so I've heard this story months ago, and we were just waiting for it to come true. And it came true. And it's awesome. And they were like, "This isn't it either. We're not done here. We're going to do some cool stuff." Look around that room at who attended that ribbon cutting, and you will see a vastly different group of people.
who are more interested in their community
And
than fancy, shiny luxury things.
and so, no, I did not say that.
I said that.
But the deal with that is I sat down and I wrote out my thoughts because it was frustrating to me that this happened and that the attendance was so radically different. And I understand that there are time constraints on these things.
And it's the second one in
People-
one day.
Exactly. But I just sent an email to my fellow board members, just sharing, if you do not take care of our kids and get our kids in line and doing well,
Give them resources.
they will never see this transit center. I think those kids are far more important than the transit center. And I think that I need to remember this when I get to that point. If I ever get to the point where I'm a business owner opening something for wealthy people on the same day that the Boys and Girls Club is doing something, I'd have been sponsoring that Boys and Girls Club thing.
You would have had it at the Boys and Girls Club. And like,
Well, no.
if you guys want to stop by, you're welcome
I would
to,
have
but-
put those kids on a bus and taken them to this hangar, and I would have put them on a plane, and I would have shown them what their city looks like.
yeah.
So, and yeah, you can say that's a freaking publicity stunt, and it would have been. But I'm just saying, I'd have been at that event, at the Skyline thing, and I had said, and I'll see all of you this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not a dig at the guy that owns Skyline Aviation at all.
It's more about...
It's me going, if I were in that position, these are the kinds of things I would do. But also, I took my thoughts, put them in a chat GPT, had chat write an email. So I sent it to the board members, just saying, hey, I just want to encourage everyone to start looking at what things you're attending.
Yeah. Because
I think it's important that you make
equal efforts.
Good decisions in this. Intentional. Just be intentional.
Yeah.
That's what I want. If you intentionally only went to the rich people thing, cool. You be you. But
from now on, we will know it's intentional.
But let it be intentional.
Yeah.
And so then I thought that was such a good call to action on my end. So then I said, chat, now write this as an article that I can submit. And if Contra Valley homepage publishes an article about this, where I talk about, and it's really it was the one to my fellow board members was more,
hey, get it together.
Get it together. The one to the Contra Valley homepage was explaining how cyclical these kinds of things are, like,
and how important it is to support.
The
both
more
ends.
money that comes in, like Skyline is going to bring more money into San Angelo because they have a great space.
Yeah.
To bring people in, show them our city, which could that can include the Boys and Girls Club.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what a great thing! And then the Boys and Girls Club gets more funding, and the Boys and Girls Club can raise these kids better as partners with their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then those kids get to be the ones that are flying the planes. And we have a whole system for that. Boys and Girls Club, public school, Angelo State, the Southwest program. Boom, plane.
Yeah.
A kid could start right now and say, I want to be a pilot. And
have
I want
to get there.
All of my training in San Angelo.
Yeah.
You can get almost everywhere, all the way to a pilot in San Angelo.
It's pretty cool.
That's my, I want it to be I don't want to call people out. I don't want to be mean. But I also want people to understand, that you showed up to one of these and not the other. And
this is how it looks, even if there's a real reason.
Yeah.
So next time, think about how it looks. I think that's fair. I don't think that means people are crappy. I think
they're just not seeing.
But I do think that the people's baseline is serving themselves and not others. And that's just history. That's just everything. Whereas you have to be really intentional to break that specific mindset. You have to really, and one of the best ways to do that is to see other people where they are and understand that could be you. Because a lot of times, the people who do have a lot, it is just luck. Luck of DNA, at the very least. It's like, I was born into the right family, or I ran into this person and was able to get this job, or I went to this school and this person went to that school. There's a lot of luck that's involved with success, and people at the top will say that too.
And you said that about Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, his family owned an emerald mine. He got into computer programming pretty early. He was like an autistic kid. And was able to sell a game that he made and was supportive, had supportive parents. Any of that could have not happened. He could have been born in a slum in India, and he wasn't. Even that's just luck. Being in America and speaking English, you're ahead of a lot of the world just from that alone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And not recognizing that and thinking that you're better than somebody else because of your circumstances is insane to me. So I do think there is that. I think there's people who are blind to their privilege in some ways.
Yeah. Hopefully I didn't piss anybody off by sending that email. Hopefully it was an encouragement to say, it's really, I mean, I ended the thing with, we don't have a COO, we don't have a CEO. It's important that the board members step up and be here for our community.
Yeah.
That's I don't think anybody could disagree with me
No.
on that is important. Now,
What's going on with that, by the way? Is there going to be a CEO?
yeah, actually,
soon?
so
Somebody
probably,
lined up?
I mean, by the time this is posted,
Yeah. By the time Landon gets his
I
shit together.
think we
and
get to a
edits.
place that's good. There was a candidate that was super high on the list, I think. So I'm on the board, but there's a executive committee that knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a selection committee that's doing the actual like selecting who that person is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on either of those things. So
Okay.
I know a bit of practical information, which is we found somebody that we're really interested in. We're going to bring them in. We're going to do an interview with them as a board or as a selection committee. If he seems like the right person, we're going to introduce him to some local, the mayor and city council and some other people like that.
Some higher ups.
And then if everybody's pretty happy with that, we're going to then the rest of the board gets to meet that person, and then we vote and hire them. As far as the COO position goes, I believe that
Are they letting the CEO pick the COO?
yeah, I believe that there's like this. We're too close to a new CEO. If we were like 6 months from a CEO, it would probably be wise to get
Hey,
somebody
we need to get
in.
somebody.
But we do have someone has been named a key person. This is the person that is going to pretend like they're the CEO, the COO right now, and like in ways that are practical. Here's what we need to do. But what I've understood from that person is what is exciting from me hearing about this is he's set up similar to how I explained my class.
How's
I empower you to figure it out. And from what I understand, there wasn't a lot of that going on. So
Oh, I thought you were telling me that I have to figure it out.
no.
I was like, okay, I can
Like-
try.
No, I think there's just this empowerment of because there's not someone there to do that job, there can't be someone there to do that job. So if you're going to do that, you're going to
Piss the Star Wars nerd off.
oh my gosh. I don't know the names. So I think the concept was just like we're going to empower all the staff to do their jobs without having all these processes in place, just to make things better. How do I have all these? Like, where am I missing? I'm
Just in
definitely
case.
missing a spot. Missing something.
Look at these guys.
Yeah. There's
Oh.
no way. There's no way that those parts don't go somewhere.
Like I got a
Oh,
little,
here's where one of them is.
little something there. This, like, I swear to God, if there was a job that was, hey, put Legos together just for fun and stream it or something, I will drop everything. I will
think
move
that's what we're doing.
for that job. Well, that's what we're trying to do. If we can get 4 viewers. The thing we have to work on is just being more interesting.
You work on that. I'll just be as interesting as I am now.
Cool.
Okay, I really want to find where those are not the normal
at
pieces that
this.
are like, yeah, you fucked up too.
No, that's normal.
That's like excessive amount
This looks like a complete
Missing.
model to me.
just feels excessive. There's just
Especially if you use all the stickers.
too many things that like, whatever. Not like I can compare it to anything.
All right, that's Captain
Wow.
Rex and Commander Cody.
Which one is which?
I swapped the plates.
Oh, okay.
So that's Commander Cody. This is Captain Rex.
We're just.
I just wanted to make somebody upset.
You're too short to be a stormtrooper. Oh, that's not what he says.
Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Yeah.
Leia says that to
Yeah.
Luke. I only knew that because I was very short and cast it out to
And
me.
people said that to you?
I really like your shark fin and like this visor situation you have going on.
Feels
here.
very Marvel inspired.
Marvel inspired. Oh, I was thinking of the Rocket Man.
And this is it. It's
one. If this was a Temu set, it would have completely collapsed.
it would have fallen apart. Hey, cool.
I was stoked to get to this set. I'm really excited to finish it. This is the adult level Lego sets. Just have all these cool little nooks and crannies that I could sit here and stare at all day, but we have things to do.
I
have
want
a
to
lot of
know
work to do.
if I could change anything that is just a tiny change
Yeah,
in the world. Okay? Just,
a tiny little change.
I don't think it, you know, you get 3 wishes, genie kind of thing. This would not be one of those. Okay? This would not be like a like, I think the genie wishes, I would be very self-serving in that.
Of course.
If I could change one thing to make our world better, see those little trademark things
Yeah.
right there? That's unnecessary. We don't need that. I get it. It's trademark. And
You know
here's
what I'm
the
not
deal.
going to do
Here's
is like
the-
try to say that I'm Commander Cody by holding this stupid model up. Like right there. Why is that necessary there?
And it's a legal precedent. But what really needs to happen now, because okay, in the past you needed to be told this thing is trademarked. Don't copy it. Because
There were a lot of things that weren't trademarked.
things weren't trademarked, but also there wasn't a way to find out if something was trademarked. Okay? Now we have the UTPSO, Trademark and Patent Office, and it's a search. You
Yeah.
just type in your thing and you search. And so I get it, but if I type in, if I'm like, oh, I want to do this thing, and Disney sends me a cease and desist because I copied it. I mean, I can copy this right now. I don't have to. Disney still has to come at me.
Yeah.
So
Which they will. They've
Which they
come
will.
after daycares before that have used.
for so long, there was a car shop here in town that used the Cars logo.
Really?
Was it Cars logo? It was something like that. Yeah.
Something trademarked. Also, back then when that started, a lot of things weren't trademarked.
Yeah.
And now everything's owned by 4 companies, and everything is trademarked. Everything.
Well,
The baseline assumption now is, oh yeah, I can't copy that. That's a thing already.
yeah, it's already a thing. Like, don't come up with
If
your
I
own
have
thing.
to, if I'm gonna copy it, I have to change it up enough to where it's obvious.
But yeah, I think if I could make one
Yeah.
tiny little change to our world, get rid of the trademark, the copyright symbols, all that, because it's always just, it's so much better. Without that little stupid T in there.
Does that look?
Disney doesn't put it on theirs. They just said, fuck it.
Disney didn't.
Yeah, look, Disney doesn't put it on there. Lego puts it on theirs. Unnecessary. Star Wars puts it on theirs. Disney,
Not that scale.
I mean,
You can't even tell.
I don't.
All right, we have to do a podcast of the 2 stormtroopers talking. Look at my screen. Copy me. Where's my?
It was just in the way.
I have to like keep it there.
Hello. General Kenobi.
It's okay. I'll fix it in post.
That's somebody else.
Not try to get your hopes up.
What is? Yeah, fix it. Yeah. No,
Looks
somebody
great, I
said
love
there's a thing that you're supposed to say at Disney. At Disney, at the Star Wars place, you like walk in and they like say General Kenobi, and you're supposed to respond a certain way. I just think that's funny.
I don't know.
I love Star
I think-
Wars. I wish I kept up with it.
I've been listening to a lot of like sci-fi audiobooks because that's
Yeah.
just my thing. I love it.
Are they better than Star Wars?
They're different.
gonna say it
I don't
all
know
out?
if they're better.
Oh.
But the thing that completely wears me down is like all the stupid names, like all the sci-fi space names for everything, and stupid names that I'm having to track. Oh, the Fart Knocker faction and Mr. Toopy-Doo over here is like trying to start a war on this stupid planet. I'm like, I don't give a shit about all the stupid names. It gets so lost
Yeah.
in all of that I can't listen to it anymore. I started one yesterday. I gave it like 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, I just can't do this, dude. It's so uninteresting.
But I can do it in Star Wars.
Yeah, because the baseline started with the main character's Luke.
Yeah.
Luke.
Is a normal name.
It's a normal name.
Oh, okay.
And he's on normal Tatooine. It's a weird name, but it's like fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like super weird. I don't know.
These are super weird names.
I gave up on it. I was like, I gave up on the book and I moved on to the next thing. I don't even remember what the next one was.
That's cool. I like the one with Lieutenant O'Hara. Is that episode 12 or something?
I don't know. Clue.
Oh, Star Trek. It was a joke. I thought you were going to catch me.
I started listening to Star Trek. Or watching Star Trek because I canceled everything except for Paramount Plus. So I was like,
you
well,
guys have Paramount Plus?
I accidentally paid for a year of it without knowing. They just charged me. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm starting at the very beginning.
Oh, nice. You can watch Paw Patrol too.
Yeah, that was at the top of my list. Was when I'm sitting here editing something, I really want to listen to Paw Patrol. Really.
Oh, Bluey?
Oh man.
How about Bluey?
No, that's on Disney.
I know.
We don't have Disney anymore.
That's sad.
I don't care.
I mean, they didn't need your
I'm
money
over
anymore.
it. They kept hiking the prices.
Yeah.
To me, at a certain point, it was.
We're just gonna all go back to like illegally streaming stuff again.
Yeah, it's pirating.
I mean,
We just started like every time Lauren goes to Goodwill, she checks the DVD section.
really?
Yeah, we have 2 binders of DVDs already from when Hollywood Video shut down and
wow.
Blockbuster. We like stocked up. And it was like $1 a piece back then, and so we already have that collection. So okay, cool. We'll just keep it going.
The only thing that I watch that I don't pay for, or somebody doesn't pay for, is Game Day, ESPN Game Day, because my ESPN login stopped working. I don't know what happened, and so I just go find it on YouTube when it's live, illegally streamed. But I'm like, whatever. Like the worst thing that sucks about that is the commercials don't go in the right places. So YouTube will play its commercials just whenever it decides, and you're like, "Fuck!" There's a play.
There's something
like
going on.
And it's not. Luckily, it's not football playing. I mean, it's just like watching them talk about it. But like, it'll like, I'll go skip ad, and then it'll go to the ESPN ads, and I'm like, "Dang it!
Yeah,
I missed it."
yeah.
So, but ESPN did something weird because you used to be able to log in with a cable account, and then they started attaching it to the Disney accounts. And so my Disney accounts, those 2 accounts were separate. My stepmom owns one, and I own the other. And so you can't.
Yeah, we were supposed to have HBO Max with our AT&T
Son of a
account,
bitch.
and we don't. I don't know why.
There's where that piece was supposed to go.
You found it?
At least. Oh, yes. I feel so much better now, Landon.
You lost something, and now you found it.
I got my marbles back. Oh, that was so sweet when I saw these memes about, because the lady that played Wendy in Hook,
Yeah.
she died
Oh, really?
recently, and it was just like cute memes about Robin Williams welcoming Wendy, Peter Pan welcoming Wendy to the afterlife. So,
Man, the genie ones got me whenever Robin Williams died. That was rough. I guess we'll call it. I need to go pick up a lens. I got a buddy who has a zoom lens that I'm going to use for my shoot later today.
oh, fun.
This is why I wanted this mug.
Ah, cheers. There we go. Okay.
Lego mug. All right, next time we're going to build something else. I don't know what yet.
Yes.
It'll be fun. This has been the hack of the century. Screw those podcast mugs.
Not even a hack.
It's so
It's
hard.
just
a different mic.
We could do that for the BBR.
No. It's easier to use the board. It gets harder for me to use this, especially because.
But just for
the
us, because
crosstalk
we're
is bad.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm willing.
Oh,
to
because
do
we're
it.
doing things in our hand with our hand. That makes
Yeah, like
sense.
this needs to be clear.
Yeah.
Whereas the podcast, like even. That's it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.